Growth and leveling up sometimes means feeling isolated, and it can freaking suck. Listen, we are here to up-level our lives, grow, and be confident and achieve our goals, and sometimes that's gonna be distancing from people and it's gonna feel lonely, but here is how we're gonna navigate it, okay? In this video, there's gonna be 3 main chapters that I kind of talk about. If you don't know me, guys, my name is Neeti. I'm your everything confidence, advice, and self-growth girly. Now, if you guys watch my videos, I'm in a really different background today. I'm in my bedroom at home with my family, and like my setup is just all over the place. So today we're just gonna sit on the floor and talk, okay? So there's gonna be 3 main ideas that we kind of talk about in video, and the first one is gonna be that the people that you're around influence you. Second one is gonna be kind of like losing people, and then a universe removing people, and then number 3 is how we're gonna actually deal with this, okay? Okay, so let's just get into it. Number 1, people influencing you. I want you to understand, I know that we've all heard this quote about like you were the accumulation of the first 5 people that you see every single day. Even if you don't think that they do, even if you feel like you can decipher it, the people that you wake up to every day, maybe your parents, maybe your best friends, maybe your family, maybe your colleague, people that you're with every single day will influence you and the way that you think, because you're constantly having conversations with them. Maybe you're talking to them about your problems, and maybe they're giving you advice. You watch them in the way that they approach things in life, and maybe you're learning from them, and it's really just natural. And so I want you to take this in mind, like, you know, for example, if you're always around people who are drinking, then you are probably going to think that drinking is normal, and maybe 3 nights a week is normal, because look at the people around you that you're surrounded by yourself by. This is kind of a personal example, but I feel like I kind of friends a little while ago, and they would just like every weekend like just drink and get together. And I'm not thinking there's anything wrong with that, but like I really had to like take a look at, is that really normal for like what I want in my life and my age group and like what my goals are? Like maybe I just kind of like lost sight of the fact that maybe that's just like not what a lot of people do, but because I was surrounding myself with them, that's going to influence me, right? Another thing to look at is goals. They might not have similar goals to what you want. Not saying that you always, all your friends and family have to have the same goals as you, but I want you to think about how the goals that other people have being completely different than you could influence you. If your goals are to own a successful business, be an entrepreneur, get a PhD, I don't know, be an influencer, give people advice, help people, and other people's goals are completely different than you, you know, maybe just not as big as your goals, that is going to influence you, and that's not going to be beneficial in some way, you know? Either way, I want you to just know that the people who are around you and the settings that you're in, groups of friends you're hanging out with, where you're spending your time, what you're even consuming content-wise is you. And so that is just kind of like why, that's kind of like going into like why sometimes this could be removed if you're trying to up-level your life. This takes us to chapter 2, which is the universe removes people. This is a lesson that I've learned personally. I used to be somebody who was very, very, very attached to people, but like there came a certain point in my life where I had a lot of growth, and I decided to change my full-time content creator. I decided to leave a relationship and learn to be happy single, work on my attachment styles. I decided that I wanted my self-worth to be in my own hands. I decided that I basically just wanted to be successful and grow and be a better me. And I really noticed that the universe was removing people. I had this group of family friends, for example, that I grew up with, and I used to idolize them and I used to love them, and they were everything to me. And I really noticed that they were also adding a little bit of toxicity, which maybe I hadn't picked up on before. Like they would talk about me, I would care a lot about what they think, and some of their comments would make me like not want to post content anymore. And I really had to, and by themselves, the universe removed them from my life. And was it hard for me? Yes. But it's crazy to me that at the time point that I had to start growing and I had to learn a specific lesson, the universe removed them. I really had to learn to be happy alone, and I really had to learn to work on my attachment style and fulfill my own needs and not rely on somebody else for happiness. And just that I had so much more in life that I could achieve when I did in that relationship. The universe will remove people and even remove you from situations, whether it's losing a job, you know? Things will remove from your life when you're growing, because your frequency is not at the frequency of what you are meant to be at. And so, sir, if your frequency is getting higher and higher and higher because you're working on yourself, you're healing, you're growing, you have big goals, certain things and certain people are going to be left behind. And that's how I kind of want you to think of it. It's not that you are necessarily leaving people behind or, oh my God, people are betraying you. When you're losing people and it sometimes can feel lonely, like think about it as like you cannot bring everything and everyone that was there when you were not developed or you weren't at your goal. It's like if you are on a mountain and you're carrying all these people on your back, some of them are not going to make it. And that's okay. Their mindset's maybe not there yet. Maybe they have just a different life path. Maybe they were only there for a season. Sometimes people are only there for a specific season to teach you specific things. And I feel like if you really look back on your own life, you might think of somebody. And I have a really good friend who was there when I went through a breakup, and me and her just went through it together. And I feel like we were each other's rocks for like a good 6 months. And without her, I don't know if I could have even got through that 6 months. But then we had different life paths. We had different goals. We had different rates of healing. And we just kind of are not as close anymore. And that's okay. I think that certain people are only in your life for time, maybe to teach you a lesson. And you have to be okay with the fact that people are going to leave your life. You may be starting to level up. If you're watching this video, you may be starting to not be interested in things like partying and drinking that you used to be interested in, and that may result in you feeling like you have less friends and you have less people around you. That's normal. I'm here to tell you that that's normal. It's your energy and it's your frequency raising and getting higher and higher and higher as you are becoming a conscious being, and not everybody is going to agree with it. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody's meant to be with you when you reach the top or when you are improving in every area of your life. This takes us to chapter 3, which is how we're going to deal with this. I would trust that if you are feeling lonely right now and maybe you've lost people along the way, trust in the universe, trust in God that it's for your better. And I'm going to put a large emphasis on that, because it's easy to just be like, yeah, whatever, I know it's for better, but really feel. You might not see it right now, why you lost these people. You might not think that they were bad for you. You might not think that there's anything wrong with them. You might not think it was necessary for you to have to lose them. It might be hurting you, but just trust in the universe that there was a reason that this person is no longer in your life, or you're no longer in contact with them while you were up leveling. I also think that you need to be okay with the fact that, as I just said, some people are only there for a season. Some people are only put in your life. You only cross paths with them to learn a lesson from them. And that means that they may not be there for the whole entire ride, and that's okay. Take people for what they are. As I just said, I had a friend who was there when I went through a breakup. She helped me a lot. And I take her for that. That doesn't mean that we remained best friends. We had a falling out. But I think when I look back, maybe she was just there for that season to help me through that. And I probably taught her something as well. And that's it. Not everyone's going to be there forever. And that's okay. Just be accepting of it. Surrender to it. Now, the other thing, I think that sometimes, like, when I feel like the more I've leveled up, the more I just don't want to go to, like, certain settings anymore. The more I don't want to hang out with certain groups of friends. I don't know if I like their energy. I don't know if I have even the same interests as I had before. I'm definitely much more of, like, a homebody now that I've been, like. And what I have been feeling is that it does kind of feel lonely sometimes when your weekends aren't filled by, like, maybe the friend group that you used to be with, maybe the boyfriend that you used to have, the girlfriend, whatever. What you have to do is fill your time with things that you enjoy. That's what I've been finding. Things that you even just enjoy by yourself. It doesn't mean you need to run and find a new group of friends right away. Obviously, you have a social circle as whoever is left or whoever you want, or maybe people with aligned interests, but you have to do things that you enjoy about yourself. I really enjoy watching baths at night. I enjoy journaling. There are certain books I want to read. I enjoy dancing. I take dance classes once a week. I enjoy going to influencer events by myself. I have things that I like to do by myself, so I'm not left there to feel lonely and to feel like, oh, this up-leveling sucks and all this growth sucks and I'm just here alone, and is it even worth getting to the top if you're doing it alone? No, you're not alone. You just have maybe not met the people. If you're at this frequency now and you've leveled up, you just haven't maybe met the people who are at your frequency or have the same interests as you anymore, and that's okay. You will. That goes to my next point, which is, like, you will attract the right people at the right time. They are not the only people in this whole entire world, and there are other people who have the same level of thought of you, who have the same goals, who have the same thinking as you, and you will meet them. It just might be that in this first period of you doing all this growing that you haven't met those people yet, but you've also left behind the other people, so that's why you're feeling lonely. It's just a phase. It's just a small little patch that you just have to get through, and I promise you that your energy will attract people whose energy and whose frequency is also aligned to you. Now, if you think about it realistically, like, if you are now into, like, reading, I don't know, if you're in a book club now, or let's say you're really into yoga and meditation, or you've joined, like, a new spiritual group, or whatever it is that you have up-leveled, or maybe you're just not into drinking anymore, you have other hobbies, and you, like, if you're putting yourself in settings, in group settings or in public settings where, like, this kind of stuff hurt, like, let's say you joined a book class, like a cooking class, maybe I love to work out now, I'm always at the gym, you will meet other people who are like-minded there. You will make other friends. You will build deeper connections. You might find a new partner there who likes the same stuff and who maybe has the same way of thinking. And isn't that so much better than having somebody who is just not aligned with anymore, who just doesn't care about your new interests, or, like, doesn't have the same way of thinking, but you're still trying to hold on to it? Like, think about it actually. Like, isn't that so much better sometimes? You never know, right? You never know the people you would meet. And so lastly, I just want to say that you're never alone. And this is a part, I feel like, of a lot of people's life. You outgrow friends, you outgrow friend groups, you outgrow partners, you outgrow just people in general. when you are changing as a person, but it's also natural. So don't be mad at yourself. And during this lonely time, know that you are just in an in-between phase and you will attract the right people at the right time, okay? You're never alone, okay? If you want any more of this type of advice, definitely comment. I will make your questions. If you also don't know me, I'm Neeti. Once again, I'm your favorite brown girl, everything advice, confidence, everything we need. You guys can also